Hey there, it's Thursday afternoon, and I decided to take a break from what I'm doing here and make a video for this channel. If you're wondering what I've been doing, because I haven't been posting much on my main channel, I've kind of shifted over into speaker world for a little bit to build a new pair of speakers that will go down in my listening room. And this was just after finishing the floor in my listening room, which I was supposed to make a video for, but I didn't because I didn't like how... I like the way the floor turned out. I just know that it's not going to get any views. I know the video is not going to get any views. And it would be a monster to edit. It would take at least 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days to edit it. So I put it... I'm holding on to the footage. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do like a room update and go over how the room's looking now and everything I've done with it, including the floor, and include some of the footage in that. And that'll be on my audio channel, where I've been making a bunch of videos lately. That's Speaker World. And the speakers that I'm making are these ones right here. These are the baffles, and this is solid ash. They're a two-way. They have a small mid-bass driver in there, woofer, you could say, and a tweeter. And they'll be in my listening room on the sidewall. It's a little bit complex, and I'm not going to go into it here, how they'll work, but suffice to say that they're going to look good, they're going to look cool, and always interesting to build a new pair of speakers. So that's what I've been up to. And the last thing I put on my main channel was the miter saw, which I think was the last video that I made on this channel talking about me putting that miter saw in, that I was going to do it, that I hadn't done it. Well, after that, I put the miter saw in. And before I got started on this stuff here, I came out to clean up, and one of the first things I did was fix my hose that I accidentally sanded through while I was building that poster frame. And I edited that for a shorts video and uploaded it about a week ago because that's when I did it. That's when I did the repair. And for some reason, it didn't take as a short. So I released it yesterday thinking that, you know, that's the first day for monetization on the shorts. And so I could start cashing in on that big payday. But it didn't play out as a short. It played out as a regular video. So I quickly deleted it. I mean, it got a few views before I deleted it. I set it to go, and then I checked in later and I saw it wasn't short. So I said, yeah, get rid of that. And so instead it's here. I'll put it in here. And you can watch it. You can see. What happened was I sanded through the hose, and then I needed to fix that so that I can have air out here in my shop. And I didn't have anything to fix it with, not the proper stuff you can get at a hardware store or whatever. I had a PEX coupling that would almost go in there. I tried to get it in there, but it wouldn't go. So I sanded down the ridges that are on there, and then it did go. It was a nice snug fit though. And I got a couple of hose clamps on there, and that buttoned it up. The hose clamps have that extra bit sticking out, and I thought that maybe that could be a problem, so I ran some tape around that, and that made it so that they're no longer sticking out, and that fixed that. The other thing I did out here, and this was just a couple of days ago, I actually replaced the switch on my table saw. If you can recall, if you've been watching this channel for a while, a few months ago, I put in a temporary switch, and that was to replace the one that burned out. And yesterday I took the switch that was actually from my Makita table saw that I had before I even started on YouTube, and that was the one, like that table saw was the heart of my original homemade table saw that I had when I first started on YouTube, the one with the concrete top. Okay, so I replaced the switch on the table saw, and I actually wired in the dust collector back in so that it's sucking the fine dust from inside the table saw. My big homemade shop vac with a cyclone built in that'll sit underneath the wing of my table saw and come on when I start the table saw, and it will clear the dust out of the inside. The floating fine dust is what I'm looking to get rid of, so it's not constantly recirculated. I think in my last video or the video before, someone asked for more rants, and full disclosure, I just tried to do a rant, and it's harder than I remembered it to be to get it all out without sounding too crazy. So, I don't know. My rant this time was about the recent, I don't know if it's recent, but it just showed up in my vision, you know, single-use plastic bag ban. You go to the grocery store, which I do once a month, if then, because I hate going for groceries. And normally they put your bags, put your groceries in very thin plastic bags that you can conveniently put it in your car and bring into the house, carrying several bags at one time. And a few years ago, of course, they started charging for those things. They made it mandatory that the stores charge for these bags, 5 cents a piece. And then for a while, you see everybody's out with these reusable bags. And I guess that tailed off at some point because they had to step it up now, and it's a complete ban. And yeah, so no bags at the grocery store. I don't know if they're going to have paper. Paper's useless, though. They say that these are single-use plastic bags. They're not single-use for everybody. I use these bags as garbage bags. In the, they fit exactly, perfectly in the plastic containers that I built into my cabinets. I have a drawer that pulls open and has two plastic containers. The back one is for recyclables, another farce. And the first one is for garbage, and the plastic shopping bags fit perfectly over the rim of that, stretch over just enough to stay on there. So now I'm going to have to buy those as well. I have to buy bags to go in my garbage bags. And those will definitely be single use, won't they? So if it was a rant that you wanted, then that's as close as I'm going to get, I think, at this point. Okay, the fight has been beaten out of me, really. I see that there's no point other than trying to amuse people. And you know what? I'm beyond that too. Because for every one person that would find this interesting or funny, there's like 10 people of the standard sample type that simply don't understand what you're trying to say or don't have any sense of humor and get upset by what you're saying. So it's simply not worth it. So I don't know. Might be the end of rants from me. Might be. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, I'll wrap this one up here. And okay, I should say before I go that there won't be a main channel video this weekend because I don't have a project on. I should say in full disclosure that it was my intention to take all of January and all of February off. That didn't exactly happen because I spent a lot of time in speaker world and spent a lot of time down my basement doing the floor down there, really for no video content, or very little anyway. So, like, this is the beginning of February. It was still my intention to take most of this month off. And I've got a couple of reasons for that I want to get into here. But I got projects coming up for my main channel, for sure. And some of them are going to be for the shop, and some of them will be for the house. A big one, you can see this chair in the background. This is for an island table in my kitchen that I'm going to be building, that I started designing a couple of years ago, actually more, and then I pulled it out recently. I did a little bit more, and I was looking for examples on the internet to get some inspiration from, and I ordered some epoxy to riverify it. And I'll probably be having some blue LED lights underneath there to illuminate it, but we'll see. Okay, I don't want to give too much away. All right, but yeah, the top is going to be cherries, this thick stuff over here. I actually have more of it, but I cut a piece off for my things here for the base of these. But yeah, I got way more than enough cherry to do the top, a nice big top.
So you're a tourist. Okay, I've seen you. I saw you with melanoma, I saw you had tuberculosis, I saw you had testicular cancer.
I saw you practicing this.
Practicing what?
Telling me off. Is it going as well as you hoped? Rupert.
I'll expose you.